on this episode of Motherfucker, You're in Kraven, we have this from Variety. Aaron Taylor Johnson. We've had enough of studios churning out stuff that dilutes wanting to go to the cinema. One of my biggest pet peeves is when the Hollywood drones decide to break away from their captors just for a mere moment and tell the people what we already know. It's like when the failed Miss Marvel actress was telling people, oh, I know what the problem with the MCU is. Yeah, they're just not making good things anymore, and people really don't care about the product. And when people make things that people love, more money comes into the studio. It's like, yeah, we get it. Thank you, failed TV star and failed movie actress. And then we got this guy here, talking about, we've all had enough of the crap that Hollywood is churning out. Yeah, we know. We're not going to the theaters anymore. Currently, I'm watching episodes of I Dream of Jeannie on Roku and having a blast. I'm not being preached to. I don't have to deal with politics. There's no gender identity bullshit going on. It's just good fun, as it should be. But now this guy's telling us, oh yeah, the fans don't like the same, usual bullshit coming out of Hollywood. Okay, but you've signed on for Kraven. Now, the trailer looked pretty damn good, I will say that though. However, it is Sony. And when you look at Sony and what's going on lately, I know the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies have been making a lot of money, okay? Homecoming, one of my favorite Spider-Man movies, next to Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire, but Far From Home, that was terrible. No Way Home, if it wasn't for the super team-up, it wasn't that great of a movie and made very, very little sense. So then that's from Sony. Then you got Morbius, one of the most hysterical box office flops in a while. So hysterical that the internet made the makers of that movie think that it was good, so they re-released it again in theaters just for it to flop again. And now we got Madam Web, where the actresses Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney cannot stop shitting on the movie to protect their careers. So that's Sony. Before Kraven, now we got this guy. Do you really think Kraven's going to be that great of a movie? It's honestly a 50-50 at this point, though. It can either be a passable, palpable movie, or it could be the most biggest pile of garbage we've seen in a very long time. I think there is something unique about this character, and something grounded. Honestly, I have no idea what the hell people are talking about in Hollywood these days, okay? It almost feels like that they should do these scripts almost like a movie, where they know what the questions are, and someone much smarter than them writes down the answers, okay? I think there was something unique about this character and something grounded. What does that mean? What exactly does that mean, sir? He continues with, we've all had enough of seeing certain studio films, a certain kind of pop culture, where they're churning out stuff that dilutes wanting to go to the cinema. I wouldn't have signed into it if I felt there wasn't something to really bring to life with the character. You were also in Godzilla, which was not a great movie at all. Did you feel like your character brought some life to the character of Godzilla? And also this little thing about here where I wouldn't have signed on to it. Excuse me. You are paid a lot of money to read lines and pretend to have emotions. Do you think every person in Hollywood takes a role because they're passionate about it? Because they believe they could bring some kind of life with that character? No. No one believes that. It's a great thing to say. That's a fantastic thing to say, because it's like, oh wow, this guy actually cares about his job. He really wants this product to be good. He's not just being paid to give it a phoned-in performance, aka Sydney Sweeney, but he really cares about this movie. No one believes anyone in Hollywood. You're all cut from the same cloth, you all have the same friends, you all go to the same parties. No one believes a Hollywood actor when they speak these days. So when he's saying, I wouldn't have signed on for it, yeah, if they gave you like $300 billion and the movie was absolute garbage, would you say, no, I'm not going to sign on to this, I have morals? But then you also step into the world where you're dealing with a studio and a franchise, or possible franchises. Though, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Pump the fucking brakes, kid. You ain't getting a Kraven universe, okay? Again, this movie, 50-50. It could be great, it could be garbage. The trailer looked interesting, don't get me wrong. The action is gonna be great. But is it gonna be a great movie? Man, you can't tell me that now Sony got it right. You cannot tell me that the last couple things we've seen out of Sony was Madam Web, Morbius, and 2 Spider-Man movies. Before that, we had the Andrew Garfield one. Where they only got 2 of those and not a third one. They're like, no, we're not going with a third one of this, though, okay? So you can't convince me that the studio one day said, hey, you guys, you know what? This is going to be a crazy idea, but what if we do something good? Like, what if we don't make this movie terrible? And the rest of the people in the room went, whoa, we can't possibly. And he said, listen, what if we make it a great movie even? He's like, whoa, you're asking too much, buddy. And then they made this movie. That is not what happened. They probably said, hey, you know what? Has anyone in this room heard of what Kraven the Hunter is? And one guy raised his hand and said, perfect, you're writing the Kraven the Hunter movie. And that was it. Because none of these people that are writing Spider-Man movies today have any idea what the character is. So you're telling me now someone knows everything about Kraven's going to make a good Kraven movie? No. Press X to doubt. So they're rolling the dice on me in a sense, which is a lovely thing. No offense to you, Aaron Taylor Johnson. You seem like a fantastic man. I loved you in Bullet Train. I personally have nothing against you. They are not rolling the dice on you. They are a billion-dollar company that is okay with a failure. They rolled the dice on Dakota Johnson, which has 0 acting ability. I don't even know what's going on in the casting room for these movies, because how do you get her in the room, have her do a screen test, and be like, hey, you know what? This is exactly what they're looking for. So how he managed, this actual good actor, managed to get in the room for this, I have no idea. It's like I said, Sony is a 50-50 company at this point. You're either going to give us garbage or you're going to give us something great. Weirdly enough, they said, okay, let's bring in Oscar-winning actress Jared Leto to play Morbius. And they did, like, oh, no, this is Jared Leto from Suicide Squad. Why is he in the room? But you've got to appease the studio, please the audience, and do what's dignified for you as an actor. They brought you in to play the established and fan-favorite villain, Kraven the Hunter, which on his name alone is interesting. His own backstory is very good. All you have to do as an actor and as a studio is to please the audience. I'm not expecting a shot-for-shot to the actual comic book movie here, where it takes everything from the comic books. They're probably going to take a small amount of it and make their own movie from it. Which, you know what, fuck it, I'm okay with that, as long as it's good. But if you can't give me good, you've given me nothing, and I'm not going to give you money. So the audience is not going to pay the studio money. You don't have to appease the studio. You appease the studio by doing a good job. What does that even mean? But you've got to appease the studio? What is it, like the Hollywood humiliation tactics? Like, is that what you have to do? You have to go the Tom Holland, being porked out in a bathroom? Or you got to do the John Cena route, dressing in drag for Amazon Prime? Like, what is going on here? You don't have to appease the studio. You're in the room. They're paying you money to do a job. It's not that complicated. You're an actor that people know and people like. Again, if you haven't seen Bullet Train, fantastic movie. You could have honestly given me a lemon and tangerine cinematic universe, and you would have just crapped out money nonstop. And the next part of the article, he talks about the potential of playing James Bond. And at this point of me recording this, there are rumors that Aaron Taylor Johnson is going to be the next James Bond. I have no idea how great that's going to be, because I like the Daniel Craig ones a lot, though. But looking what Phoebe Waller-Bridge did to Daniel Craig's Bond at the end, I don't know, man. If you're going to do that to James Bond, who the hell knows what you're going to do with this character? And there were so many rumors before the casting of this, where the creators of the James Bond series were like, hey, we might go in a different direction where he's a more, sensitive and kinder James Bond, and not the, alcohol drinking, banging supermodels type of James Bond that everyone's known to love and want to see more movies of. So they might just torpedo that series as soon as it begins, but who the hell knows what's going to happen with that? In fact, if anything, the first one, kind of off topic here, I think the first James Bond is going to be a Trojan horse. I'm going to make another video about that. But I think, just like the Spider-Man games, they're going to give us a fantastic first game where it does everything right. And then the back of that horse is going to open up and all the crap's going to spew out. And it's going to be nothing but DEI, it's going to be nothing but inclusivity, diversity, sexual, all this bullshit. And it's just going to suck. We're probably going to get a gay James Bond going forward. But that's just my opinion right now with the wait and see. But to this article, Kraven the Hunter, 50-50. Honestly, 50-50, and that's putting it nicely. It could be a great movie, or it could be hot garbage. Honestly, looking at Sony's track record right now, it is not looking good for them. Because every time a new product comes out of a studio like this, or Disney, or DC, I always say, do you people think that this is going to be the time they turn it around? That this product is when they finally realize, no, we're tired of flopping in the box office, we're tired of being embarrassments, we are actually going to do things right now. Do you really think they're going to do that with Kraven the Hunter? I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Let me know.